J.B. Eagle had a farm,
Eagle.
and on his farm, he had a movie.
Eagle.
It's called Barnyard with a story to tell, characters, and fun facts ready to review. J.B. Eagle had a farm.
Eagle.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O. With a here and a there, here a, there a, everywhere. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
The story. Let's start with the story. Otis the cow is a wild living party animal and just loves to dance until dawn. But then his dad is killed by coyotes, and Otis must become the responsible leader of the rest of the all-singing, all-dancing farm animals. The movie is obviously not the best, but it's entertaining. The animation isn't the best either, as it looks somewhat cheap and doesn't age very well. But despite its negative aspects, it is very entertaining for everyone. The characters. Let's let the animation eat the hay and take care of the characters. Otis the cow is the leader of the barnyard and often leads his friends into big trouble with humans. He is best friends with Pip, Pig, Freddy, Peck, Duke, and Miles. He is voiced by Kevin James, who also voiced Officer Landers from Monster House and Frankenstein from Hotel Transylvania. Then we have Ben, who is the former leader of the barnyard and Otis' adoptive father. After Ben gets killed by coyotes, Otis fills in for him. Daisy used to live on a farm, had a husband, and was pregnant with her first calf. She enjoyed her life with her family, but then a flash flood rolled into the farm. She and Bessie found refuge in the meadow, but when the storm was over, everybody was killed. Later, the farmer took her and Bessie, and they met the other animals. And then we have Bessie, who is Daisy's best friend. She is sarcastic, short-tempered, and even violent sailor's cattle, but she speaks with an African-American accent. Dag is a red coyote who infamously hunts for livestock from different farms out of sheer hunger and sadism. While doing so, he leads a pack of his fellow coyotes into satisfying their agrarian appetite. This is Daisy's only appearance. She is then replaced with a more tomboyish girl, cow, named Abby on back at the barnyard since Daisy failed to make any more appearances. Otis is one of several animated protagonists to have a mouse as a friend. Another is Horton the elephant from Horton, Here's a Who, and Dumbo from Dumbo. Daisy the cow has a mark on her stomach in the shape of a daisy, hence her name. My last chore on this farm for today is to give facts about the movie. Two of the experienced voice actors in the film, Rob Paulson, who voiced Peck, and Cam Clark, who voiced Freddy, both voiced one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the very first animated incarnation of the series, being Raphael and Leonardo respectively. Interesting enough, Viacom, owner of Nickelodeon Network, would later purchase the TMNT series from Mirage Studios in 2009, and one of its many incarnations would have Paulson in it voice one of the other turtles. In this film, Maria Bamford, who voiced Nora Beatty, stars alongside Courtney Cox, who voiced Daisy the cow, known for her role as Monica Gellerbing in Friends. 15 years later, Bamford would star alongside Lisa Kudrow, known for her role as Phoebe Buffwee in the series in Housebroken. Kudrow would voice Honey the Poodle, and Bamford would voice Honey's therapist owner Jill. Production of Barnyard was done back-to-back alongside The Ant Bully, both of which were made by members of the team that worked on Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. One film was like Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, made to be a pilot to an upcoming Nicktoons show, and has a fair amount of straight-up voice actors in the cast, whilst the other film was made to be a standalone project by a competing distributor and doesn't have as many straight-up voice actors in the cast. The male bovines having udders was explained in the October 2006 issue of Nickelodeon magazine, Nick Magazine. In the letters page, one reader asked about the anatomically incorrect bovine and whether it was intentional or not, and the magazine explained that writer and director Steve Udekirk thought it would be funny for the male cows called bulls to have udders. Not only does this film, like Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, have Rob Paulsen and Jeff Garcia in the cast, both times as close friends to the protagonist, but there are also voice actors who had been in the animated feature-length films Tom and Jerry, the movie from 1992, and The Prince of Egypt from 1998 as well, in addition to series regulars from the Fox animated sitcom Futurama. Nickelodeon Movies' last film before Paramount Animation came to be based off a Nicktoons show and have experienced voice actors in the cast who are listed outside the additional voices, not counting The Last Airbender and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which are live-action films in different continuities from the Nicktoons shows they're based off. This is Sam Elliott's first voice acting in a feature-length film. Later, he went on to voice Chupadogra the Mastiff in Marmaduke from 2010, Butch the Tyrannosaurus in The Good Dinosaur from 2015, Fleetwood Yak and Rock Dog from 2016, and Trusty the Bloodhound in Lady and the Tramp from 2019. This is the first theatrically released animated film for Lloyd Sher. Later, he'd go on to voice Fillmore in the subsequent films of the Cars franchise since 2011. The character was once voiced by George Carlin in the first Cars film, and the Spanish DJ in Turbo from 2013. Only time Otis the Cow and Etta the Chicken are voiced by Kevin James and Andy McDowell respectively. In the show that this film would be a pilot to, Otis and Etta would instead be voiced by Chris Hardwick and Lee Allen Baker respectively. The job of composing the score was offered to John Powell, but he turned it down for unknown reasons. Randy Newman was assigned as this film's composer, but he turned it down as well, so this film was instead composed by John Debney. This is the first and only time actress Jill Talley works on an animated Nickelodeon Movies movie that has nothing to do with SpongeBob SquarePants. That wouldn't happen again until the Loud House movie released 15 years later. Out of all the cast members in the film, Cam Clark, Rob Paulsen, Scott Bullock, John DiMaggio, Maurice LaMarche, Fred Tatasciore, and Katie Lee are the only non-celebrity talents. This is the first and only Nickelodeon Movies film to have Wanda Sykes, who would not work on a Nickelodeon film again until Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie 18 years later. When Otis was trying to figure out what knocked the farmer out, he tried to make it look like an apple fell on his head. This is related to Sir Isaac Newton when he discovered gravity. This is Kevin James' second animated film, the first being Monster House. It's also his only animated film to not also have a character that is voiced by Steve Buscemi. This is the only Nickelodeon Movies animated film to have the Paramount Pictures Presents in association with Nickelodeon Movies credit. This is Danny Glover's third animated film after two films from 1998, Ants and The Prince of Egypt, as well as his first to not be from DreamWorks Animation. During the movie, Otis's phone plays the Hello Moto ringtone from Motorola and interrupts a speech that a character in the movie was speaking. This is Scott Bullock's first Nickelodeon Movies film. although he did take over a role from Jimmy Neutron. Boy genius in the show that it's a pilot too. The octagonal NG badge of the car Otis drives in the movie is a spoof of the also octagonal badge of real-life British/Chinese car brand MG. This is Nickelodeon Movies' last animated film until Rango, though it is the last animated film from Nickelodeon Movies to be released in the 2000s. When the farmer is knocked out, Otis gives him a copy of the book, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, the basis for the next Nickelodeon Movies film. During a hoedown, the barnyard animals throw darts at the face of Colonel Sanders, of Kentucky Fried Chicken fame, pinned to a dartboard. This is the only Paramount Pictures/Nickelodeon Movies animated film that was never released in India for religious reasons. This is Tino and Sana's second animated film after Tom and Jerry, the movie from 1992. It was also his last before his death in 2017. This is David Koechner's second family-friendly Nickelodeon Movies film, the first being Yours, Mine, and Ours from 2005. Currently, this is the only Nickelodeon Movies animated feature film to be written and directed by one person. This is the first Nickelodeon Movies computer animated film to be rated PG by the Motion Picture Association. Originally, Billy Crystal was going to have a role in the film. He would have voiced one of the farm animals. The scene where Otis distracts a mailman became a popular internet meme. This film's reels were shipped to theaters under the code name Tipping. The film is loosely based on George Orwell's novel Animal Farm. The film became an internet meme after its release. The DVD was released in Mexico in January 2007. Now my daily work on the farm is done. Now to get something to eat at the farmhouse. But you know there are lots more wonderful reviews to go over with you. So be sure to join me in our next review. Until then, this is your pal, JB Eagle saying good night.